In this video, I'm going to rework one of my first ever oil paintings. Hey there and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Sean and I have a passion for painting. I've got to admit, I'm a little bit nervous, but it's okay. I'm like that with any painting I start, but to do this to a painting that I kind of like, why? Well, the simple answer is it didn't align with my current work. So in this video, I'll be working over it. You'll see some of my process and I'll be talking a little bit about why I would do such a thing. Before we start, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have turned on the bell to be notified for when I upload my next video. So this is a 27.5 by 19.5 inch stretched cotton canvas, and I originally created it in oils about 4 years ago. I believe this was probably one of my first oil paintings. I'm happy with the actual raven, however I will add a few details, mainly some vibrancy, without going overboard. The colours of my palette are ultramarine blue, cobalt turquoise, quinacridone magenta, cadmium red and titanium white. And I'm using a touch of linseed oil for my medium. I've been experimenting with linseed oil recently and I like it. It keeps the drying time open for longer, which is great for when working on large paintings. I don't add too much of the medium, though I may have added a bit too much to the yellow background in a painting of my daughter about a month ago, and that's only drying now. But in my defense, cadmium yellow does take forever to dry. Anyway, back to this guy. So I'm trying to communicate as little as possible by placing those strong highlights and bright colors. I never want to get tied down to too much detail, just a few touches here and there to kind of up the saturation slightly within the subject. I'm choosing to blend a little bit in certain areas, but I want variation in my brushwork. The brushes I'm using are ivory flats from Rosemary & Co. I absolutely love them in so many ways. I'll leave a link in the description, so go check them out. This raven has an assortment of cool, shiny colours and a lot of smooth detail, so there wasn't really much need to spend too much time figuring this out. I've said it before in previous videos, and I'll say it again. Creating detail without actually creating detail, or the illusion of detail, is what I want from a painting. I love when art looks detailed from a distance, yet when you get up close, it's sort of simplified into abstract shapes. Now, I'm not knocking detail, I just don't think it's totally necessary to render every inch of a painting, especially one of this size. I mean, if that's your thing, then great, go ahead. So the main reason I want to fix this painting is the background. I used to make a big deal of the background when painting animals. I liked it at the time, but nowadays I'm trying to keep things more simple, I guess. I really enjoy making fresh, modern paintings. Paintings that perhaps portray a digital light quality. I'm really into that. When I make abstract backgrounds, I fear the worst. I'm treating this as my final layer to complete the painting. The colours may seem fairly basic, and they are, but I've put a fair amount of thoughts and planning into the colour values and the way I apply the paints. I'll even have cooler hints of paints from the raven bouncing through the background. I think that makes for a great painting. I think I was on the right track with this painting when I first started it. I just needed to tone it down a bit. Okay, I think it's pretty cool. The fire-like red abstract texture that depicts, well, hell. I'm looking to simplify this with variations of warm, creamy colours. This will help my subject jump out. I'll keep some of that original background showing through a little still, but yeah, I want something, I guess, sweeter to look at. I'm using a lot of paint now, and the colours are titanium white, cadmium yellow, and cadmium reds. I'd usually use a larger brush for this part, but I decided to stick with a smaller one as I wanted a bit more control over the types of pressure I was using, and I want to be careful not to cover that original background layer. This new background requires a lot of paint, and I mix up batches of it using a palette knife. The beauty of oil paints is that I can work similar colours into that wet paint, creating some interest. I also play with edges, blending some of that background into the subject, and I keep some edges sharp, which creates a nice contrast. I just want to thank you for being here with me today. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, then do me a favour and hit that button for me. It really does help out the channel. I also have another one of these videos coming very soon, which I can't wait to show you. So thank you so much for that. And now back to the painting with my Catalyst wedge. By using a lot of paints, I'm able to create a broken up abstract effect, and I can also use it to blend parts of the paint together. I love using this tool. It's quite unpredictable, but hey, that's half the fun when creating abstraction. My roller usually comes in towards the end of a painting, where I can drag lines of that wet background into the subject. Then for the final highlights, nothing works better than a palette knife. I had a lot of fun with this, and I'm really happy that I went for it. The outcome is exactly what I wanted. So I guess all that's left now is the reveal. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate your support. I would love to hear what you think of how my friend turned out, so let me know in the comments which version you prefer. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.